Ladies and gentlemen, the Cub Scout presents to you the roast of Armoured Skeptic.
Hey mates, Cub Scout here. For my first roast, I figured I'd go straight for the Z list and do a roast of your boy, Armoured Skeptic. Many of you out there know Armoured Skeptic as perhaps the most annoyingly pedantic YouTube personality ever. The guy is insanely popular among those twats who have loose affiliations with the skeptic community. Yeah, the skeptics are a community, alright, like the Charles Manson fan club. The average IQ is below 90. They worship a psychopath with horrible hair. And most of them haven't been laid in this century. But hey, the Armoured Skeptic is incredibly popular. What can you say about the guy that hasn't already been said? About cancer. He shows up out of the blue despite your best efforts to avoid him. He spreads and affects more of your body against your will. And if you are lucky enough to get rid of him, you have to perform regular checkups to make sure he hasn't found his way back. This guy is a legend, giving us such great arguments as, "You're stupid," "Homosexuality is gay," and "Because science." Intellectual powerhouse he is. Armoured is like the Guido version of Venom Fang X. Hey, let's not be mean to the guy, eh? We'll have a look at his illustrious career here. Before he came to YouTube, Greg, as we know him now, tried originally to get his start on MTV's Jersey Shore. After producers told him he wasn't attractive enough to star alongside the likes of Snooki and JWoww, Greg was inspired to wear a helmet. Until this point, the only time Greg had worn a helmet in public was when his grandmother would walk him to the park. He then decided to get on the skeptic bandwagon, following in the footsteps of Thunderfoot, Potholer, and other great anti-theist debunking channels. Though rather than creating solid logical arguments to give him an edge in the genre, Armoured decided that he would create camp little characters that would appeal to people's inner child and love for cartoons. Well, who would be stupid enough to do that, I wonder? Well, speaking of child love, there's a rumor out there that Armoured and Shay started dating while Shay was still underage. Many people may frown on this, but while Joan's mental capacity may have only been that of a teenager, she had the vagina of a 56-year-old porn star, so no harm, no foul. But at least Armoured's love for Shu dispels those nasty rumors that he's a racist. Most racists try to avoid following the path of black men. What's that old saying? If you want to avoid black people, just go to work. Anyway, Armoured showed us true equality. He's now contracted sickle cell anemia and has an unhealthy obsession with watermelon, but at least he's not a racist. Well, let's not be mean to Shu. She's attractive, right? Sure, mate. True, she served more black men than KFC, but Skeptic's an equal opportunity slut fucker. And it's not like they would ever use their relationship in some reality show capacity to attract more clicks or...
We interrupt this roast to tell you a little bit about Candid.
Holy shit, mate. I haven't seen successful people sell out this hard this fast since fucking Enron. And we appreciate Greg finally becoming unmasked. Hey, it's brave to show your face on camera, but it's a little hard to focus on content with that suspiciously tanned and unusually plump face. It's like watching an episode of Bad Lip Reading. And what the fuck is with all this now? I'm a skeptic, Shu and Skep, I'm a Gregory, Skeptic Media, Skeptic TM. What sort of reverse gentrification is this? Are you trying to run down the value of the entire community? What are you, fucking HUD? And talk about the brass it takes to build an entire media empire off the back of one semi-successful channel. There hasn't been anyone this self-assured of his mediocre talent since Kanye West. But it makes perfect sense for Greg to follow the Kanye model. After all, they're both blazing trails already widened by black men previous. Here's a fun fact. On their first date, Greg and June went to Chuck E. Cheese, and on the second date, Greg begged June's high school guidance counselor to not contact the authorities. Romantic, isn't it? In complete seriousness, guys, let's not be mean to Shu and Skip. They seem to be genuinely in love. They remind me of Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias. But we don't really believe Shu was a murderer. A secret SJW spy trying to recruit Skeptic's entire audience to the dark side. Makes sense, but not fucking murder. A credit where it's due. Skeptic claims to be a true blue, real deal skeptic. He's skeptical of everything. Bigfoot, Chupacabra, ghosts, 9/11, Obama's birth certificate. But oddly, he wasn't skeptical at all of that negative STD panel from the Canadian Health Clinic. I just mean it's hard to roast someone who's been burned more times than the old dirty bastard. So by now, I'm sure you're all aware of the PewDiePie controversy. Yeah, he's a guy whose audience is comprised mainly of teenagers, and media is scared shitless he'll train them all to be Nazis. There is some overlap between PewDiePie and Armoured here, though. PewDiePie recruits young teenage fans. Armoured tries to fuck them. Apparently, Greg is also highly skeptical of child sex laws. We can't hold him to Australian or American standards, of course. He's a snow Mexican. Some Western nations were populated by great explorers and conquerors and people seeking a better life. Canada was populated by the French and Vietnam draft dodgers. Canada's national motto is Pas dans les fautes, which translates to not in the face. It's something Greg screams every time he and Shu get into a fight. But let's be fair here. Canada has its fair share of manly men. I couldn't find any on Google, but a good skeptic will tell you that doesn't mean they don't exist. Greg is also very skeptical of hairstyles post-1985. Hey, but the slick back is a good look here if you're auditioning for the Broadway musical version of Goodfellas. And to practice his lines as Robert De Niro's famous Jimmy Conway, Greg would reply in character every time June asked if the dildo was hurting by saying, "Little bit, little bit." And what's with this obsessive need to call every YouTuber with a fake avatar a clone? Holy shit, you make Charlie Sheen look like he has the self-confidence of George Costanza. Seriously, mate, if your ego were any bigger, Milo Yiannopoulos would try to get it to fuck him up the ass. Jesus, mate, what even created this mammoth Greg's head-sized ego in the first place? Is it because you're fucking Shu? Is that what did it? I'm skeptical of that. I mean, I don't see the cast of New Roots running around this proud of themselves. Or maybe it's those movie star good looks that make Greg such an egotist. You know, he looks like Rocky Balboa and Rocky Dennis had a baby. Now that's a face only a mother could smother. Some of the skeptic's most popular work has been in going after the likes of Joshua Furstein. Are you serious right now? The last time I saw this bad an example of punching down was when Warwick Davis fought Carl Pilkington. Greg has positioned himself to become a massive YouTube cliche. Takes himself too seriously, finally gets pussy and changes entirely, starts looking down on his fans. He'll be Steve Shives in another 6 months. And the ego really is amazing. Skeptic acts like Floyd Mayweather when he's really closer to Ronda Rousey. He looked unbeatable when handpicking much softer opponents, but almost fucking dies when he punches his weight. Sorry for the hyperbole. Sometimes comedy is about exaggeration. For instance, we wouldn't say Greg's got the world's largest head. That's hyperbole. But we can say that's definitely top 5. That's just fucking honesty. Speaking of big, Shu claims that Greg is packing a powerful punch downstairs. Maybe that's true, but with the head the size of an automobile tire, style from the 80s, the misfortune of being Canadian, and the tragically gay last name of Flora, God had to show that he doesn't completely hate him. Hey, how about a quick one here? Hey, what's the difference between an Armoured Skeptic and an anarcho-communist? You might see the communist outside. Hey, I might be too harsh on our friend the skeptic. He's not the world's biggest cunt. That's just what he sticks his face in every night. Hey, the bad news. World history is rife with egomaniacs like Hitler, Mao, Charlie Sheen, Greg. Oh, the good news. They're all either already dead or currently dying from AIDS. You may recall Greg had to take a break a few months back. While this is unconfirmed, I heard it was because someone on Twitter said to him, "Greg, you can't possibly be a bigger asshole." To which Shu replied, "Challenge accepted." Okay, that's enough piling on Greg. He's sick of being the bottom. So, to wrap things up, I'd like to recite for you a small nursery rhyme. Skep and Shu, to up their views, they both lay down together. Skep's dick fell off and Shu got lost, went back to black forever. I thank you guys so much for watching. List any suggestions of a good roast victim below. Like and subscribe for more roast. This is what the Cub Scout does. I roast the ones I love, and sometimes I make exceptions, like with this massive cunt. And goodbye, folks.
I'm just a nigga with a rocket launcher.